Hi, North Hills families. Thank you so much for attending my Algebra 3 presentation. I'm genuinely grateful that you could join me this evening. My name is Stephanie Lucas, and shortly we'll be joined by Miss Megan Greer, our student teacher from Penn State University. I need to be very candid with you for just a moment. I need to let you know I recorded this video multiple times. And I'm actually glad that I have decided to do it one last time because I now have the unique advantage of having done my first day of school presentation officially 18 times. And what I have to say is that each and every time I've done it, your children have been respectful, receptive, and genuinely attentive and interested. And I think that's a reflection on how you've parented them through this challenging time. So I just have to thank you with sincerest gratitude. I thank you for how you've weathered this storm and how you've supported us as a community over the past couple of months. And I'm grateful for the opportunity to teach your children this year. Thank you for trusting me with them. And thank you again for attending my presentation. I'm going to go ahead and tell you just a little bit about myself. I'm a National Board Certified Mathematics teacher, which just means I like to teach a whole lot. I set high expectations for students because I genuinely believe they can meet them. I believe that you have to be involved. My undergraduate degree is from Duquesne University, and my graduate coursework is in school counseling, and that it was done at Slippery Rock. I am a wife to Mr. Lucas, elementary band teacher extraordinaire. I am a mother to 3 children, a Girl Scout leader, hopefully a homeroom mom this year. I don't know that I'm going to get to go in, a triathlete, a marathoner, and a super proud minivan owner. I also wanted to take a moment to just talk to you about our typical weekly schedule. Personally, I like to structure my lessons into 2 different types of days. We do Learn It days and we do Practice It days. Learn It days are days where a student will watch a video and take some notes. Practice It days are the days where we get together and do some fun activities. Also some drill and practice, because there is a bit of a place for that still in your average algebra class. Why I've decided to utilize this structure is because I, like my colleagues, maybe took some lumps in the spring, and I learned that just doing a quick little demonstration followed by a homework each and every day was a little bit problematic. If a student struggled with a learning video, and then I asked them to do an activity or a homework assignment based on that video, I really put some kids, at least temporarily, in the weeds. I needed, for my own experience, to create some space between the direct instruction associated with the lesson and then the activities that relied on the lesson taught. This gives me that space. So each day, your child will either be participating in a Learn It day or a Practice It day. Of course, we'll have our average quizzes and tests as well. Along with the weekly overview, your student will also, every single day, receive our Daily Assignment Hub. The Daily Assignment Hub is broken down into a few simple pieces. It has our lesson objective for the day, or what we hope to get accomplished, any announcements that might be necessary for that day, such as the date of their next quiz or their next test, ways to get a hold of me, or just a reminder to complete some important assignments. Also, it lists the tasks for the day. Students will have up to 3 tasks each and every day. One of those 3 tasks will always be our daily Zoom lesson. On this first day, Monday, August 31st, they were taking a bit of a pre-test for me so I could learn a little bit more about their math background. And then they're also finishing a list of to-dos I gave them on that first day of school with, just a couple of things that they need to go ahead and click on for me. What I like about using a daily assignment hub is that everything in the directions is clickable. So they don't need to navigate anywhere else in their course to find the materials or the links or the activities that they need for a given lesson. It's a one-stop shop for what they need to get done that day. I should let you know that these post every morning at 7 a.m. Students are notified about the posting in 3 different ways. First, they should receive a push notification from the Google Classroom app. Second, they should receive an email with a link that they can click on that directs them to this assignment hub. And then third, it's posted under our topics in our Google Classroom course. So hopefully one of those 3 ways works. But if you happen to notice that your child isn't working on math for any certain period of time, feel free to reach out to me. I'm pretty sure I'll notice though too. Now, what do you really need to know? First off, late homework assignment is accepted for half credit the first day after an assignment is due, then 0 credit from that point on. My homework policy is rigorous, but your child is definitely capable of some solid rigor. After all, bad homework will always give us bad test scores. I am flipping my lessons each day, which means that they are watching a video and then completing an activity during the subsequent lesson. Our Zooms are going to focus on question and answer, some practice activities, and discussions. I don't anticipate that Zooms will take the full 40 minutes. However, if your student needs me, I'm absolutely available for 100% of those 40 minutes. I post my entire course on Google Classroom. Please have your child log in each and every day to find out what they need to do on that assignment hub, and also click around on the tasks in that hub. I also need you to know that I rely on you to keep an eye on Power Schools. So please make sure you make a habit of checking it at least weekly. This is how I ultimately communicate the progress of your child every week. To be honest with you, I update it quite regularly during virtual instruction, once a day, once every other day. But I do a big update usually every Friday. I'm hoping I can stick with that routine again this year. So please do check Power Schools. This is how I communicate progress for the 130 students in my care. Your child is responsible for checking their email every single day. I guess that's a rough transition to adulthood. They should be checking and cleaning out their email every single day. You can sign up for the occasional text remind if you would like. You can text at ALG3 Lucas to 81010. And additional procedures on how to do this are outlined in our Google Classroom. The best way to get a hold of me 100% of the time is just by emailing me at lucass@nhsd.net. I will respond to you within one business day. I am not the person who's going to go ahead and ignore an email. I don't know too many of us that would, honestly. If I do not respond, chances are something happened with your email. Perhaps it ended up in my spam filter. But I do check my spam filter, so I should be able to still get back to you within one business day. All right, you busted me. I really enjoy teaching Algebra 3, like a ton. And I'll go ahead and tell you why. The students in this class, they're often upperclassmen. They're taking this class as a choice. They elected to take it. It's not a core class. It's oftentimes, if they're a senior, not required for graduation, but they're still choosing to be there. And I think, again, that says a ton about you and it says a ton about them. A child who comes to Algebra 3 is a child who just wants to get better at math. And at the end of the day, it's a very teachable child. They're fantastic human beings. So I really immensely enjoy my time as an Algebra 3 teacher. What you need to know is that outside of our mathematics objectives, I really aim for some growth of your human, I will say. So I focus on preparation for college and life after high school. Just trying to grow them to be an independent learner. We grow mathematical behaviors in your child that extend far beyond the math classroom. For instance, their ability to justify and critique a response, their ability to utilize structure. In other words, taking a solution from one problem and using it to solve a brand new problem. It's something they'll do, in daily living. How they can go ahead and attend to their own precision and check the accuracy of their responses. A lot of different mathematical behaviors that pay off in the real world are things that we go after. I also like to think this class really increases Algebra 3 students' confidence. They come to my class again with maybe a little bit of a rocky past in math, and I've had this class described by students as sort of like a breath of fresh air. They kind of really get to understand at a deeper level some of the topics presented in Algebra 2. And sometimes I get a student in Algebra 3 that just doesn't like math or see its relevance. And I welcome them, of course, as well. What I say to them if they're saying, when am I going to use this? Well, sometimes we just don't. They may not. If they're going into a profession that's not math and science heavy, they may not. Or they might, because they might have to help their own children with their algebra homework someday. But aside from that, when we don't see the relevance of what we're doing, we can always tap into a little bit of self discipline. And I know math has done that for me as well. I mean, sometimes I really struggled to see the relevance of what topic I was studying at the time. Even though I liked it, I, wondered when I was going to use it. And in those moments, what did math do for me? It gave me a nice chunk of self discipline. So I hope that gets passed on to your child as well. It teaches them how to ask for help. We improve our self advocacy skills. We learn to work cooperatively, even in a virtual environment, regardless of your prior conflicts or relationships. And this course, just as a small reminder, is not offered for college credit. We did have a few changes in the grading policy this year. Your child will see 2 report cards from me, not just one. They'll get one on November 13th or around there for the first quarter. That is worth 50% of their grade, and they will have another report card in January from me for their second quarter grade. They'll have a final exam that's just a regular test score averaged into their quarter 2 grade. You should know that they get tests and quizzes anywhere from 10 to 100 points. Our daily assignments are 2 or 3 points. Sometimes I grade like class kicks and things like that. Those are, not really around the 50-point region, but more like the 10 or 20-point region. I will be grading their notes. I kind of need to see how they're absorbing the information in some of those videos that I make. So they'll have 10 to 20 points for their notebook score. And then we, of course, have other informal methods of assessment, conversations during our Zooms and things like that, some math discussions, exit tickets, things of that nature. And then lastly, they will have a cumulative final exam. Again, that's probably looking like it's right around 55 points as of right now. And this slide just contains a list of topics that our course covers by chapter. We're starting off our time together in chapter P, where we review a few basics like the order of operations and properties of exponents. We go from some basic expressions to finally equations in chapter 1, and we start with just the equation of a line. In that, we also begin our discussion of domain and range, and we talk about some applications of linear equations. In chapter 2, we bend that line to make a U-shaped graph called a parabola, and we study quadratics. We will solve them, we graph them, and we apply them, and that's the trend for the last 3 chapters. We solve them, we graph them, we apply them. Chapter 3, we do that with radicals and rational expressions, or rational exponents. And then chapter 4 is rational expressions, rational functions, where we solve and we graph and we apply our understanding. You're probably wondering what to do if your child gets stuck, especially if your history with mathematics is, maybe bumpy. It happens. Different courses for different horses. We all have our thing. So what can you do to get some extra help for your child? Well, first of all, you want to encourage that daily attendance in Zoom. That is, after all, where I take attendance and touch base with your child each day. They should, though they're not necessarily in my book required to stay the entire time, if I tend to notice that the progress has stymied a little bit, I will begin to have them hang out with me a little while longer in that Zoom session. I definitely plan on being there for 40 minutes every day. 40 minutes per period every day. Sorry, just to be clear there. Google Classroom is a great resource for extra help. They can re-watch or re-look at any of the resources that we have. And also me, I'm here to help. So please don't hesitate to email me or give me a call. Again, you are my eyes and ears, and I'm genuinely grateful for them. And last but certainly not least, I'd like to take a moment to introduce my excellent student teacher, Miss Megan Greer. It also says a lot about her that she's willing to do her student teaching experience during this challenging time. And she's been just an asset even in these first couple of weeks. So let's hear it from Mrs. Greer. Miss Greer.